Hey guys, welcome to a new video in the BlueBird channel. What I'm going to be doing today is basically to run you through my classic part evolution spreadsheet. First of all, I want to mention that what we're looking for, and as I'm saying here in the tweet, is that we need to take into consideration the following things: how part evolution looks like level 2 parts looks like in the marketplace. Artifacts implementation, I think this is very important for Classic right now. Flavor of the cards, like how are they going to be looking, or what's the story of, like, behind the part, and the current meta interactions. Basically, this at some point should be something that's going to be shifting the meta, right? Also, one of the most important things is that we want to make them different, not better. It's not going to be like Origins in this case. It's going to be mainly a new card that is going to be different from the base one, let's say, but at some point it's going to be related. And I'm going to be showing you how I think about like the part evolutions. All right, so what Post 2 mentioned is that we should have 32 or 33 parts here that we're going to be discussing today. And yeah, we can go directly through it. When we talk about Shelter, the card already is like going to be attack 0, defense 120. And the description of the card is going to be that the Axie cannot receive like any critical strikes. What I did in this case is basically to modify a little bit the description, and it's going to be that if you're hit by a reptile, plant, or dusk, like a body, like an Axie that its body is reptile, plant, or dusk, you're going to be, the Axie is going to be stunned. In this case, artifacts are going to be pretty much relevant, mainly because you can change the body of the Axie, and then the Shelter is going to be having some effect in this case. About flavor, I wanted to give like a meaning for the Shelter in the Aquas, and it's basically going to be a shelter protecting them from the biggest threats. That is going to be reptiles, dusks, or plants. That is basically what is better against Aquas. All right, let's go to the second. That is Scalar or Blue Moon. The current one is 100 attack, 35 defense, and it's draw card when attacking another target. I think this card is like pretty useless right now. I think it can be improved a bit, maybe 110, 120 of attack, and then a bit like less defense. But I think it's good with Babylonia right now. I understand why the Sky Mavis team work on this on either targets, but I think it's going to be better if we give a flavor of like Iguana, and basically if you go to the card explorer that is in classic.infinity here, you will see that Blue Moon is the same card as Iguana. At least as you can see here, like the drawing and the image and the illustration that we have here is the same as Blue Moon. So what I wanted to do is that the part 2 evolution should be something like doing the contrary of this. It's going to be generating 1 energy when, let me just check, when attacking a debuffed target, right? So in this case, if it's Iguana, if it is when it's buffed, and in this case is when it is debuffed. It's just like the contrary. That's the flavor of the card. Then let me see, Goldfish, and the card is called Swiftscapes. Everyone knows what Goldfish is, right? Goldfish, yeah, apply speed plus to this Axie for 2 rounds when attacked. But what I'm trying to do in this case is basically to do a potato leaf effect, but with artifact as well. What I'm saying is that it cannot be targeted by reptiles, plants, or dusk if this Axie has teammates remaining. And basically, what I'm trying to do in this case is, instead of the cards as well, it's going to be the artifacts that are going to have effects on the target that you're going to be choosing. So let's say that I'm going to be using Goldfish evolution on my Axie. What I can do is to transform the opponent Axie into a reptile, and like he's not going to be able to hit that Axie. I'm going to be protecting that, and also potato leaf score should be working this in the same way. All right, if we go to Babylonia, some cards are like pretty much, you know, like are kind of crazy, the effects that I'm going to be doing, but basically, yeah, I will guide through. You know, Babylonia right now is this card that is going to be 150 damage when attacking another target. I think it's pretty much, I mean, it's very strong in my opinion. And what I'm trying to do is to give like some sort of versatility in the card with secret classes, with Dusks, Mechs, and Dawns. So in this case, when we have secret class artifacts, what we are going to be doing is basically to have different effects depending on what we are hitting. So it's going to be like a risky fish, but basically what it's going to be doing is it's going to be applying attack plus when hitting a Dusk, speed plus when attacking a Dawn, and attack less if it's targeting a mech. So basically it's going to be positive effects versus secret classes, and basically artifacts are going to be very useful in this case if you have secret classes artifacts. Alright, let's go with Teal Shell. Teal Shell right now is pretty much related to shield, right? So it's going to be doing 30% of shield as damage, and what I wanted to do in this case is to relate it at some point, doing like some more protection for the Axies. So in this case, it's going to be gain 20 bonus shield for each aquatic card play this round, sorry, including this one. So basically it's going to be having 80 attack and 70 defense as a base, 150 in total. And then if you use more cards, aquatic cards, like if you're playing triple aqua or whatever, you're going to be like getting a lot of shield. Maybe the attack is a bit buffed, maybe I should reduce this. But basically what I want to do is to have like a different way to see aquas in this case. So it's going to be great cards to have more defensive aquas, like a front one. In triple aqua teams, this can have massive shield. But that's what I'm saying, what I'm mentioning here. All right, Clamshell. You know Clamshell already. Clamshell is this card. Apply attack plus to this Axie when attacking beast, bag, or mech targets. And what I'm doing in this case is changing it a bit. Instead of like targeting mechs, beast, or bags, I'm targeting the other part of the triangle, like plants, dusk, reptiles, and blah blah blah. And basically what I'm saying is that I want to apply speed up to this Axie when attacking birds, aquas, and dawns in this case. So, you know, like in this kind of cases, the speed plus is really relevant at some point against birds, aquas, and dawns. When you have like, when you're playing against goldfish, it's not, but in this case, as you can see, like for example, if you're playing against dawn or against like any birds, you can speed the Axie up with Clamshell in this case, and win the game. As you can see, it's not better than this, it's just different, you know? So if you're going to be playing against a God Pack, for example, the speed up is not going to be relevant, so probably you will have the Clamshell instead. But if you're playing against birds, aquas, or dawns, it's going to be pretty much relevant to speed up instead of the attack plus. So what I'm saying here is a new way to battle mirrors and to gain speed up against the axis that speed matters. Important with artifacts too as well. Yeah, you can possibly change as well the body of the Axie, and basically you will be able to do this in a better way and to gain speed up. All right, let's go with Lam. I think Lam is kind of crazy. Let me just check what's the current one. This one, Lam, it's deal 120 damage if this Axie HP is below 50%. And what I'm saying in this case is that we're guaranteeing a critical strike if this Axie HP is below 30%. So what I was thinking is that not to use this in aquas, because aquas morale is pretty low, but maybe you can use it in birds, for example. I mean, right now birds are quite dead, and I wanted to give some sort of like new usability on this case. So I was thinking that maybe you can have a bird like with Glitter Branch and Boss Fight, and with those two cards you're going to be able to hit like very hard the opponents. And also you can have, for example, Axie keys as well, and combining everything with Lamb and like a critical strike guaranteed with HP below 30%. You can have an Axie with a lot of damage that is going to be guaranteeing criticals if it's damaged. So basically, yeah, I was thinking about that, like just like giving a new way to use Lamb and to breed birds, for example, or dons with Lamb instead of like having aquas, pure aquas. Right now, usually Lamb is using aquas only, and that's it. But yeah, also, I mean, you can use it in beasts or mechs, for example. You know, I mean, I think it's pretty good to have critical strikes in this case. All right, let's go with Catfish. Catfish right now is a healer, right? You know that it heals this Axie by the damage inflicted with this card. It's going to be healing around 90, depending on the Axie that you're attacking. But what I'm trying to do in this case is to have some sort of new Cute Bunny composition, just to change things a bit. And the main thing is to have attack 100 as Cute Bunny, and then defense 25. The good thing is that Cute Bunny is lowering usually the speed of the Axies. In this case, it's going to be a pure Aqua or a fast Axie with fear that is going to be better, in my opinion. So basically what I'm saying is that, I mean, I will try to do again a Terror Chomp composition, but in this case it's not going to be 2 turns, but just 1. So it's going to be better in terms of like, my Axie is going to be faster, so I'm going to be making fear, but I mean, it's going to be okay anyway. So yeah, it's saying I think 2 turns too much. Yeah, but 1 is okay. Being swallowed by a fish should give you fear, right? That's the flavor of the card. So I mean, if you're going to be swallowed by the Axie, maybe you're afraid of being swallowed, and basically you're going to be having fear for 1 turn. That's it. All right, let's go with Koi. You know Koi already if you're playing Axie Classic. It says apply Speed Plus to this Axie for 2 rounds when comboed with another Aquatic class card. I don't remember this one. Okay, yeah, so basically it's going to be a new way of backdooring, but with pure speed, right? So like full speed. So what I'm saying is skip the closest target if there are 2 or more enemies remaining. It's going to be the exact same thing as Windhorn or Herville. I think that's the name of the card. So let me just check. Windhorn, yeah, or Herville. But what I wanted to do in this case is to have a pure Axie that can play also, like to have full speed. I mean, Windhorn gives full speed, but I wanted to play also with Babylonia. So you have Shrimp Babylonia and Koi Babylonia, so you can backdoor mid and back with Babylonia. So I mean, it's everything about the mind game and how are you going to be able to outplay your opponent. And Herville is really bad. I mean, you cannot use Herville right now. It's like the stats is very bad. I mean, lowering the speed as a beast right now is not very useful. So I think like having like a 57 speed mid backdoor Axie is going to be okay. All right, let's go with Nemo. Nemo is like a very used card. Also gives full speed to your Axie. I think that's very relevant in Axie classes, as you may know. I wanted to have, in this case, like a big change at some point, but also I wanted to give like a relation between the Nemo that we already have. So first of all, I changed the cost from 0 to 1. That's the main thing. It's going to be a 1 cost card. So basically, if you have like a usual Aqua with Nemo, Goldfish, let's say Shoalster and Risky Fish, you have like a 4/1 cards in your Axie. And if you're going to be evolving this, and what I'm trying to do is to basically shake a little bit things up, and to have Nemo costing 1. So what I'm trying to say in this case is to gain 1 energy if this Axie buffs. So basically you can combine this with anything in Aquas You can play, for example, Goldfish. If you hit, you get 1 energy. You can combine it with Clamshell, for example, Risky Fish. Like any buff is going to be working with this. So what I'm saying here is like following the concept of Nemo, giving energy. This can be a good way to mix it up with effects like Goldfish, Clamshell, etc. I already wrote it here. I forgot about it. But yeah, the card cost is going to be changing from 0 to 1. Alright, Tadpole. Tadpole is shit right now. It's like useless. Like nobody wants to play with Tadpole. I think the most card that I have seen that is tier 2 or 3 of Aqua Tails that I've seen play is Navaga. It's like when you attack first, it's hitting more. In some front Aquas, in triple Aqua. At Tadpole right now, like Shinx is not very useful right now. So maybe at some point, yes. But right now it's useless. So this is going to be a new way to leave Axies in last turn. So basically, if you use Tadpole in this case and the HP of the Axie is below 150, maybe it's 130, 40, I'm not sure about the numbers. That's like more on the balancing to put the correct math behind everything that I'm doing here. But what I want to do is to leave an Axie last turn. You know, sometimes leaving an Axie in last turn is a lose for you, but most of the times when the Axies are like slow, for example, frontliners, you want them to be in last turn so they can draw cards in that Axie, and then maybe use Pumpkin, Cottontail, Shelter, or whatever card that's going to be protecting you or making like leave the last turn bars alone and then attack, and that's very, very useful. I wanted to have like an effect that it doesn't exist right now. That is basically, I'm going to kill your Axie, but it's not going to be a definite kill. It's going to be in last turn. And also what I'm saying here is that in the case that you don't want to have that, you want to leave this in last turn, you can just use Oranda, and it's going to be ending the last turn, even though it has like five last turn bars. And yeah, I'm saying basically that I want to give another tail that is playable to Aquas. Maybe damage is a bit high, maybe it should be 115, 130, I don't know. Maybe it should be less to be worst. If not, it's like a lot of damage, and also I'm going to be killing you if you have 150. So yeah, I think you should be like around 100, maybe 115, around that, yeah. I'm going to leave it like this, mainly because I already submitted this, but yeah. Alright, and that's Aqua Cards. Let's go through the beast cards that we have. I think we have, let me just check. We have 11 cards here that are going to be reviewed by the team and implemented in Cursed Coliseum. Alright, let's start with single combat or running. This is one of the most popular cards, I would say, in Axie Classic right now. Basically, when you combine this with 2 other cards, you guarantee a critical strike, and basically it's pretty much used with either Stab or Imp that gains 1 energy per critical strike dealt by your team this round. It's the usual beast from 2021. Alright, so the card right now is not very useful. You cannot use it in like top tier compositions, and in this case what I'm trying to do is to give like more damage and more shield. Let me just like phrase this 1 second. How can I inmovilizar? Sorry, my Spanish, I'm talking Spanish, not this one. Alright, there you can go the titles. You can see the titles as well. Alright, let's go to running. Sorry, my bad. Single combat. Alright. So I wanted to give more damage in this case. 120 and 20 defense. It's like a very big attack card. It's like almost like dual blade, but with I'm trying to give this a new effect that is going to be that it's guaranteed a critical strike if this is the only Axie remaining in your team. I think beasts right now are not very useful. Moral is one of the worst skills that you can have. And basically what I try to do in this case is to have, if you have a beast that is going to be standing alone, as it's saying the flavor, single combat, what I'm trying to do in this case is to give like a bonus on that case. So if your Axie is going to be alone, you don't have any Axies remaining, this is going to be guaranteeing a critical strike every time that you use it and hitting by 120. And yeah, the flavor is basically around that. It's going to be single combat, means that he's fighting alone, so if it's the only Axie remaining, he needs to become a Ronin and defeat all the enemies. You're going to be becoming a Ronin and basically a hero of your team. That's the flavor behind Ronin. About hero or heroic reward, right now it's a 0 cost card that's going to be drawing you a card if you hit an Aqua, Bird or Dawn target. What I'm trying to do in this case is to give a buff against Aquas and Dawns and Birds, and maybe like 150 is too much, but I think it's going to be a card that's going to be used. I mean, I want it to be used. If I give like 120 or 130, it's not going to be used at all. But yeah, basically, if you hit an Aqua, Bird or Dawn, instead of drawing a card, you're going to be like dealing more damage. So basically saying a heroic reward for fighting versus strongest class. This can be a comeback versus pure Aquas, Birds or Dawns, or a game changer with artifacts. In this case, of course, I mean, you can hit a reptile with an artifact like by 150 damage, and that's going to be okay. But yeah, let's go to Nitrolip. This one is one of my favorites, or Shower, right? Let's go to see the image of Shower. You know, like it's like a Nitro, it's like fast and furious. It's going to be a very hard thing to do, and it's like a boost to your Axie. But then, of course, after Nitro and after going very fast and dealing a lot of damage, something bad's going to happen. So right now it's saying it's like if you have an Axie last time, it's going to be attacking first. In this case, I'm going to do like a very aggressive Axie that is basically going to be 150 attack, no defense at all. It's going to be like the last one, and when you use it, you're going to be attacking first this round, and then you're going to be applying to yourself 2 attack less and 2 speed less. So it's going to be like you're going to be almost dead if you don't use any other card. So it's going to be like the last one, as I'm saying, but with a plus of going very fast, but with a worse drawback. So, you know, like the last one. Let me just check the card. The last one. What I'm writing title. Okay. This one is where is the last one? Okay, here we have it. It's apply 2 attack less to this Axie. That's it. Yeah, it's a very good card, very good combined with Tree Feather. In this case, you cannot combine it with Tree Feather because it's a back, like it's a back card, and Tree Feather is a back card as well. But you can combine it with anything else, like with any 0 cost. And then the speedless, you're going to be taking it away like after a few rounds, and that's it. Little Branch. So right now it's like when you attack first, it's going to be guaranteeing a critical strike. It has a lot of damage. I'm not sure if this is the correct one. It's not 125, right? I think it's 100. Yeah, 100. This I think this was the one before the balancing. And what I'm trying to do in this case is basically to give a new tool for the mechs in the Poison decks. Poison Comps, sorry, decks is about Magic, Magic the Gathering, a game that I play. But it's like it's going to be like a Twin Tail or Furball, but in a horn. So you can basically play Toothless Bite and the other 3 cards. Attack 4 times when combo with another card. It's going to hit a lot. And what I'm saying is can be a good addition to Poison Comps in mechs instead of using Arco or Dual Blade. That, in my opinion, it's making worse the comp. The Evo part design looks like 4 branches, that's why it hits 4 times. Let me just show you why or how do they look. So if I go here to the market, I'm going to be looking at this little branch and as you can see, it's like looks like twin tail, like a double twin tail, you know? It's like 4 spines like doing damage. So I think it makes sense at some point to take a look at this. Yeah, and to hit like 1 for each of the spikes that you have there. So yeah, I don't know. All right, Imp, Iberstaff. You already know this one. I already mentioned it when I talk about running. Gain 1 energy per critical strike. Yeah. What I'm trying to do in this case is to have a card such as Kestrel, that is disabling the target's back cards next round. It's going to be, instead of like disabling the horn, it's going to be disabling the back. The one card, what I'm saying is to have to be called Backstab, like a Backstab instead of Iberstab, because it's going to be disabling backs, not bugs. So yeah, basically what I'm saying here is that you have Kestrel in the bird triangle, bird part of the triangle, then you have Hotbat in the reptile part of the triangle, or plant part of the triangle, and then you have you should have Backstab as well, disabling bugs. Not sure which ones are very important, which backs. I would say like Pumpkin is one of the most played cards in playbacks. Then Scarab, I think is very good as well. Sandal, Goldfish. I don't know. It's. I mean, there's a lot of backs that are pretty useful right now, and I think a card having this, it can make sense. All right, Mary Lesion. Let me just check the image, because I think that with this you're going to be able to see what I'm trying to refer with this. So you know, it's like a lesion with 3 axes with the same horn. They have like different backs, they have different mouths, but yeah, basically what it's saying is it's a defensive card. Bonus 20% shield when comboed. So I mean, these are not very like shield oriented. So what I'm trying to do in this case, is to give a new way to use it, and it's going to be like a new launch card. It's going to be dealing 120 when chained with another launch card. The name of the card should be called Furious Spear. Like you have like Feather Spear and Scale Spear, and it can be comboed with the other 2 launch cards, right? So basically, what I'm saying is that, I mean, you have a lesion of axes with this horn. It's going to be this combines with the launches. I don't know. I mean, it's just like having also and make things equal, you know? I mean, you have the horn of the bird, the horn of the reptile, and you have the horn of the beast in the triangle. So it's going to be like making things more equal between the triangle. When I'm referring to the triangle, it's like this. Maybe I'm mentioning it like a lot, and I'm not. I mean, you're not understanding what I'm trying to say. Basically, it's this triangle. Yeah. So basically, we have already launch card with the reptile here. We have Feather Spear in this part of the triangle, and then, I mean, we don't have anything. And also we have Trump here. So that is a horn that is useful with other trumps. But we don't have anything here, so I think this one is pretty abandoned, I would say. So I want to give just a launch card to see if it's going to be used more in beasts, for example. All right. Let's move forward. So Nutcracker, you know Nutcracker already. Probably is one of the oldest cards in Classic. Deals 120 damage when combo with another Nutcracker card. Yeah. So in this case, what I'm trying to do is to have. I mean, the flavor is quite the same. I mean, it's about interacting between different Nutcrackers, but in this case, it's not in the same axis, but in different ones. So in this case, you need to chain the Nutcracker with another one, another card, another piece card. No, in this case, with another Nutcracker, and basically with this, you're going to be guaranteeing a critical strike. And what I'm saying is an option to use more Nutcrackers in a comp and not just all in one axis. All right, Gouda. I love Gouda, one of the best cards in the game. But that is basically destroying one of your opponent's energy, and the card is called Piercing Sound. It's 85-30, yeah, is that correct? Yeah. And then I am just changing a bit the card. It's not related to destroying energy, but more about like at some point like confusing with the piercing sound the Axie and applying attack less. Maybe it can be another debuff. I'm not quite sure about it, but I think it should be. I mean, this is like better than Peacemaker probably, without the benefit of having the speed of the part. But I think 130 and 25 is fine. I think it's mostly like dual blade, if I'm not wrong. 130, 20, maybe it should be 20 instead of 25. But yeah, so my main idea is to give a debuff with a lot of damage instead of like destroying energy. Destroying energy is pretty overpowered right now, so yeah. Okay, this is a crazy one. Luna Absorb or Cottontail. You know, it's like with the moon here, and basically it's absorbing energy from the moon, I think, the image. So basically it gains 1 energy after attacking. I mean, you're not attacking with this, but yeah, it's fine. I mean, we all know what Cottontail do, but I think we never read this. So it's going to be the same thing, cost 0, attack 0, and defense 30. And in this case, it's going to be like something to draw cards instead of drawing energy or having energy. So it says your opponent gains 1 energy and you draw 2 cards. And if you are in Blood Moon, draw 2 cards instead. So basically, the effect becomes better when you are in Blood Moon. Basically, when you have, because it's like seeing the moon in this case. So I'm saying here, Luna is moon in Spanish. I think probably in more languages as well. So the effect should be better in Blood Moon. I imagine like the card design like with the Blood Moon there instead of like just like a moon, like a white moon here. It should be like a, I don't know, maybe Blood Moon Absorb or something like that. And I don't know how it's going to work, the part Evo in Arena, but maybe at some point you can change the card in the game. I'm not sure. And I'm thinking about Godbugs. Godbugs sometimes like don't want to use Cottontail anymore because it's useless in the game that is already advanced, or you have like a lot of energy. So basically you can turn this thing and basically start drawing cards when you're going to Blood Moon. I think this is something that Godbugs are doing like very often. So I think it might be good to have Godbugs with this card evolve instead of like having just like the regular Cottontail. All right. We have 2 more and we go to the plant parts. Oh yeah, so it's going to be Night Seal Rice. Let me just check the image. When I decide everything, I already like, I mean, I checked the images as you mentioned, like how the card looks, the flavor and everything. And yeah, it's a steal 1 energy from your opponent when comboed with another card. All right. Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is quite the same effect, but instead of like comboing, you need to chain it with another beast card. And I'm saying that with the idea of Merry Legend and Nutcracker, I want to facilitate things by chaining things instead of comboing, right? Maybe Beast with the ball parts is not going to be something around comboing, like running, but more with like chaining things, you know? I think it's going to be okay. And basically, for example, you can do something like, yeah, 2 Merry Legions and 1 Rise, and it's going to be working, you know? I think it's pretty good. All right, Rampant Hole Shiva. Shiva is not very used right now. I think this is bad, right? Shiva is not doing like this. I think it entered in last stand. Guaranteed last stand. Okay, guaranteed last stand if skill is strong. I was reading guaranteed critical strike. If skill is strong, when combo with 3 another 3 cards. So what I'm doing in this case is basically, it's not depending in, I mean, I want to apply lethal to the Axis to trigger more critical strikes on beasts because I think that they need a buff. So basically, if you use 4 cards in this Axie, you're going to be applying lethal, and also you can choose the order of the cards. So basically, you can use let's say you can use this first, then you can use dual blade. The dual blade right now, I think, if I'm not wrong, hits a lot, deal 200 damage on critical strikes. And then after that you can use Ronin level 1 and then like something else, and you're going to be killing the Axie. Facilitate lethal by playing 4 cards. It's more than Ronin, but it's more cards. I mean, you need to use more cards than Ronin. With Ronin you need to use just 2, but you can choose which crit you want to hit. That's it. Alright, so that's it from the Beast. You know, I'm trying to give Beast a buff in terms of critical strikes, so Morale can be a better skill in the Axis. Right now, I mean, I would say like speed, HP are the most relevant things. I would say speed, like top. But then, I mean, skill a bit with mechs and dons, but then I think that Morale needs to have a buff, and I want to have more critical strikes that are certain, you know, it's not going to be like a random thing. But yeah. Alright, we are going to the last part. We have 9 cards, 9 plant cards, no, 10 cards. Yeah, 10 cards. The first one is going to be Shiitake, or Shroom's Grace. That is going to be, yeah, it's a mushroom, if I'm not wrong. Shiitake. Heals his Axie for 120. This is a very bad card. I mean, it's not doing anything. So basically Shiitake right now, I mean, I want to give like a shift on this, and I want to be able to give a utility to this card. And it's going to be attack 60, defense 80, and generate 1 energy if this Axie heal this turn when you hit the opponent, right? So basically, if you use Zigzag or Mosquito or Catfish or any or Strawberry Shortcake in other Axie, when you use this card, you're going to be able to also gain 1 energy. I don't know. It's just mixed with the healing of the previous card, but also I want to give like more usability on the card. Right. Bidens. Okay, Bidens right now, you know that they changed, they improve it, but I mean, Poison is still around, it's very annoying. Nobody's playing Bidens because it's not good enough. And what I'm trying to do in this case is to change the cost from 0 to 1 and to do like clean up to all Axies. So basically, if you play Bidens, probably you're not going to be losing against Poison. I want to have a card that's basically killing Poison, like 100%. It's going to be a 1 cost card that's going to be healing all your Axies by 40 HP and removing all the buffs from all your Axies. It's not going to be removing Scarab because it's that cannot be removed, but it's going to be like a flavor of yeah, it's going to be like a refresh for all your Axies and a new way to start, right? And as you can see, like it's spreading flowers, so basically I'm trying to say, yeah, this should at some point like heal every Axie, not just one. It's going to be more expensive, of course, but doesn't matter. I think it's going to be a good card to just heal all your Axies and just start over. Yeah. Bamboo Clan, Bamboo Shoot. Yeah, not very used right now. It's a clan as well. You have like 3 Axies here. Increase 20 damage when chained with another plant card. I think this should be a launch card as well. But I'm giving like a different way to see this. So it's going to be increasing damage in 10% for each plant you control. You remember Pokey, that Pokey was basically, if you control, like it's going to be increasing 10% of the attack of this card if you control, like for each back you control. In this case, it's going to be for each plant you control. But the good thing about this is you can play pure plants with 3 of this and it's going to be like a big, massive damage. So what I'm saying is like old Poke but for plants goes with the flavor of the card. Bamboo Clan also competes with Cactus that is very OP right now. I think, yeah, we have only 2 horns that are useful in plants right now, Cactus and Beach, and that's it. And I think that maybe Bamboo Clan can be like a good way to change that. There's a lot of double plant aqua compositions, for example, and maybe instead of using Cactus because you want like a faster Axie, you can use Bamboo Clan instead. I don't know. I think it's very good. All right, Beach. You know Beach. It's not okay. Yeah, Beach deal 120 damage if this Axie shield breaks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember now. So I'm trying to do something more with poison in this case. It's going to be 100 attack, 40 defense, and apply 1 poison to target when hits. I'm thinking that maybe plants should be more on the poison side. This can be combined with jump, very good. And what I'm saying here is the good and stab. So basically, when you just like stab the Axie, they should be bleeding and taking some like damage after that. So maybe basically it's like a darker version of Peach, and basically it's going to be around poison. All right, healing aroma. Heal is Axie for 120. I mean, nobody's using this right now. Maybe in some like triple plant poison compositions, but it's not very good, to be honest. Yeah, basically I'm changing the stats as well to 60 and 80, and I'm doing this to be able to avoid Spiky Wing. So basically you can use this as a damage card and a shield card, but if you use it in a backliner, for example, or a frontliner against a Spiky Wing, it's going to be very good because you cannot receive fragile. My English is getting rusty right now. So yeah, Spiky Wing is way too strong now. Would be nice to have a card that counters that. And I want to have this to counter Spiky Wing in a plant shell and not like any other shell. Mainly because plants are like suffering a lot the Spiky Wing effect. And Aquas are pretty OP right now. So yeah, maybe I don't know. You can use this in plants with pumpkin or any other axis with pumpkin, and you're going to be safe if you're going to be playing against Spiky Wing. So I think yeah, it's very good. All right, Sirius. Sirius was the last card that I put here. I'm not very convinced about this. It's just like a better attack and defense. And it's going to be stealing 1 energy from your opponent when combo with a beast card. So yeah, as I'm thinking, maybe you can use like, I mean, I have been seeing like a few plants with Sirius and Rice, and maybe when you combine those two, you basically can have like a bit more damage. It's not better, but I think it's different, you know. I mean, Sirius is going to be able to be comboed with any other card. In this case, you need to combine it with the beast card. And 50-50, I think it's pretty, I would say, fair. I think Rice is like too good right now, like stealing energy, having 90 damage and then 20. If you don't like steal energy, you don't care at all. I mean, you're hitting 90 anyway. All right, zigzag. Wow, this is very interesting. So basically, when you use zigzag, you heal yourself. In this case, I want to do like something crazy. Yeah, I'm just reading this. But basically what I'm trying to do in this case is to have like a reverse effect in healing in our opponents. So basically, let's say that you're going against a God Pack, for example, that are like, you know, that they are very OP. You can use zigzag, and then when they use Mosquito, instead of healing 80, they're going to be losing 80 HP. So it's going to be quite a mind game between like using or not Mosquito, depending on what you're losing. I take the idea of this from a card of Magic the Gathering that is called Reign of Gore, that is basically doing this exact same thing. This one is in Portuguese, but it says, if a spell or ability would cause its controller to gain life, that player loses that much life instead. So basically, you cannot win life, and also if you win life, you're going to be, yeah, dying, basically. All right, that's it. We have how many? 3 more. Carrot. All right, about Carrot, you know, like Carrot with the buff that it received, it was a decent card, and it's seen some game right now. Not that much, but it's seen some game. And when you see, you know, let me just like show you the Carrot image. As you can see here, it's like, I mean, first of all, the card is called Carrot Hammer, so it's a hammer, right? And when the shield breaks, I mean, when you break the hammer, it gives you 1 energy. I'm not quite sure about that interaction, But what I'm saying is that it should be like 50-50 and applying Fragile for 2 rounds. I mean, we don't have like that much Fragile. I think the only card that applies Fragile is Spiky Wing. But I think that if it's a hammer, when you hit, it should break the shield and to be like able to go through it. And basically that's why I'm saying that it should apply Fragile. So to break the shield, it's like a Thor hammer, you know, blah, and you break the shield. Yeah, we're in the last 2. Cattail. Cattail is one of the most used cards. More right now that there's a lot of Parasite comps. But basically, yeah, when you get hit by Beast Bug or Mech cards, you're going to be drawing cards. Okay, I remember this one. This is a very good one. So Postu told me that this is how it works or something like that in Origins. That was not my intention. I don't play Origins. But I was feeling that we need to have a way to defend our, for example, birds or dons in the Godback Mirror. Sometimes like the game is only defined by who backdoor first, and that's it. That's the end of the game. Maybe what we can do is to add another layer on that, and just if you play Cattail round 1, you're going to be defending your backdoor, and that's it. So basically you're still going to be applying Aroma or Taunt or whatever effect you think is the right name to have that. But basically it's going to be avoiding Uncos, it's going to be avoiding backdoors or anything. So I think it's a very good addition to what we're trying to have on a more diverse meta. And I mentioned here that it should last 2 rounds, mainly because it's going to be a slower Axie. And Aroma in some cases, like for example Nexhel or Poki, are cards that are going to be used by faster Axies. In this case I want to do the contrary. Alright, 50 minutes of video. Yeah, sorry, but I mean it's a lot of cards and I wanted to like really explain everything. Lick Hudson. When hit, disable the attacker range cards next round. Yeah, we have it here. Lick. I love this card. And basically what I'm trying to do in this case is to have like the same stats but with a different effect. In this case I'm trying to apply speed less to the attacker for 2 rounds when attacked. So basically it's going to be the contrary of Goldfish. Let's say that you get hit like 4 times against one Axie, it's going to be like the slowest Axie ever. So it's going to be, I mean, you're going to be attacking first for sure next round. So it's going to be giving like a different kind of effect to the plant cards. Like it's like going to be like a trench, you know. You're going to be attacking the Axie and you're going to be going last. So it's going to be each card will give speed less, like Goldfish, but for the opponent speed less. Flavor is ready to make them blind. I didn't remember this. With the lick, you know, like the here. I mean, it's like an onion, like a lick. I lost the card. Sorry. Where is it? Here, and the Axie is crying. So basically, yeah, it's going to be blind and it's going to be slower and it's going to be like attacking like slower. So yeah, that's my review and my proposal for the part Evo. Remember, we're not looking to be Origins. We don't want to have better cards. We want to have different cards in a more diverse meta. That's the main reason why I'm proposing this, and not just like upgrading cards, like spending time and anything. I think that if you want like a ballpark, you're going to be needing some time, maybe some investment. And I think that it's very important for everyone to understand that Axie needs to evolve, it needs to grow, and it needs to be scalable in many ways, not just like in the game, but also in the economy of it. So I think it's very important that we introduce part evolution, and not just like evolving like Pokemon. It's just like it's going to be a different card and will bring diversity, and you know, like any cards games that you might know, probably they are going to be releasing like new cards or new editions, and we have been playing with these cards for like a long time, and I think it's time to have a more diverse meta and to have like new cards is going to be amazing for everyone. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. If you don't mind and you can help the channel, please subscribe and turn on the notifications. Then you can also use my Lunacian code, that is BlueBird. You can put that in the marketplace, and if you want to support me more even, you can use the code SAPEGATO in the shop. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.